put me to each station. So I went through the entire process, learning every step in the optical, manufacturing of eyewear, glasses. And that gave me the opportunity to, basically write this procedure, the manual of procedure, and then they realized this guy is a little bit special, obviously, and he has something to offer. So they didn't stop me there. They immediately put me off the clock, which is a big thing there. You have to punch every time you come in and go out and what have you. So then I was invited to the management committee, and then I was made a supervisor immediately. And within 5 months, I was made the customer service manager, being responsible to bring the business in and to take the business out. Basically, I was involved in customer service and quality assurance. So that became a huge department where about 50 folks started to work for me, and this guy who just started 5 months ago. So that kind of thing can happen. But unfortunately in Sri Lanka, that might not necessarily happen. But we are looking at an era, we are looking at a point where the best will eventually work for this country, work for the place where you want to be, and do best. Because the time has come where the righteous living, good governance, all must blend together, and that's the only way a country can progress, Mahesh. Not by now it's a different scenario. We don't need to talk about now because we all know it. Right? We don't need to stress that. You know it, I know, the viewers know it. But I think what we need is that change. We need that change to make things happen and give the professionals. If they're not professional, there are guys who are, by their virtue of their being, are good in doing something. Give them the opportunity. I think we have put them to a corner. We have put them to a side. We need to bring them into the mainstream and give them the opportunity so they will perform and they will make this country the best country in the world. I think it's going to happen.
I agree with you. I dare say what you say is exactly the need of the hour. We need the change. We need a change of thinking of our people. We need for us to be magnanimous of giving opportunities to the people who suit to serve the nation. And now, when you came back to Sri Lanka, you got involved in the catalyst in the real estate development project, the 2,000 Plaza residencies. I would like if you could touch on the real estate development.
As I came back, of course, I worked for the family business for a little while, getting involved in a manufacturing concern with a Korean joint venture doing manufacturing of spectacle frames. But I also got involved while doing that. I got a little bit involved in a coconut mill down in Rudamila. So that also gave me a cross-section of working with people, and sometimes how politicians could, even though they're in the private sector, bombard their way through and, get the JSS and all these people to work against you for their benefit. All those things I went through. Luckily for that experience I had in the two main businesses I worked, while of course I got involved in investing into so many other companies also. But I must say, Mahesh, something I didn't know when I came back was not to trust everybody. I basically trusted everybody. I had a heap of checks, bounced checks in my top drawer. I had given them cash. They would come and say, Majrang, next week, I'm getting this. Can you please give me get over the, and there are little money, a couple of lakhs. Yeah, this dummy goes to the bank and gives them the money, keeps the check, puts the check into the bank on the right day, but it bounces. What do you do? I mean, you could take them to 4th floor or whatever, but that was not my way of looking at it. But I took the hit, and I just said, okay, maybe not next time, but somebody else walks through, I do the same thing. So these were some of the mistakes which I have now hopefully corrected. But then again, when you are born with open arms and giving, you can't quite keep it yourself. Yeah, I would rather not have a meal but give somebody else. So that's my way of thinking. So after this hit, sort of to say, I, lost my mother in 1998, and that was also a very, sort of a spiritual upliftment in my life, because as you possibly know, Mahesh, many Tibetan monks, they go to their mother when they know that she is passing away. And sometimes it could be even 1 year, the son, this Buddhist monk, sits beside the bed and waits for this moment. But for my some previous birth karma, I think I had this beautiful moment with my mother. To cut a very long story short, I happened to be there that morning when she passed away, which was very special because it all sort of unfolded. I mean, not that I normally go to see her at midnight, but I was that day, I went and visited Archie with my 2 children, and Amma was okay, but went and put them to bed, and I all of a sudden thought, no, I must go and see Amma. I took a shower and went. I had this habit having the Pirit Potha in my top pocket at all times, because we used to do a lot of work in the armed forces in Jaffna and Trinco, Batticaloa and places like that. We used to take these the relics and bless them and give them these books. So that was always in my pocket. I went to see Amma at midnight, and I was listening to Pirit with her, and then came a point where the nurse came and said that she was really not feeling too well. I also had a feeling about it, so I held her hand and I told her to reduce the volume of the chanting of Pirit, and I started chanting Pirit, and then I saw this beautiful light falling on her forehead. It was drizzling outside, which I consider like a Malvasa, and she looked at me and passed away. That was a great moment, and when I say great, because I know that she was going to a much beautiful place, much better place, where she will always be there for, not only for me as a child, but for all of us, blessing all of us, blessing this nation. And that's exactly how I feel about that, passing away. And from that point, I also, took a sort of a decision that I'm going to make things happen. That was my real downtime. And it's strange, I read this book recently on her 3rd month almsgiving. Tata gave a book on the Dhammapada to all the people who came as Pirikara to the priest, and all the people who participated also got a copy of this. And in that, I have taken time out 10 years ago to write what I felt about this departure and how I'm going to
cope up with that.
More than coping up, Mahesh, what I'm going to do in the future with a firm decision. So that, it spells out very clearly, and it's amazing. Part of it is this, I've been involved in construction, building new buildings. It goes on to say cities, capitals, and so on and so forth. They are yet to come, I guess. But certainly I got this opportunity to be a part of this major development project, thanks to my mentor in the United States, Dr. Anandappa, who was very close to me as a student. He's the guy who gave me that first rice and curry meal after 8 months, by the way. So he had apartment complexes there, and I managed some of them while I was with him during summertime as a summer job. And he said that he's getting ready to invest $1 million in Sri Lanka in this, then it was called actually Club 2000, not 2000 Plaza. And said, Janaka, would you like to get involved? I was also in Crossroads. I said, yeah, Doc, whatever you say, I'm with you, we have worked together. We have had a great relationship. So basically I came to Sri Lanka, waiting to meet this Mr. Colin De Silva, who's really the founder of the 2,000 Plaza Residencies, who was also the founder and the father of the condominium planning for the whole world, by the way. He was a former, civil servant. Due to the serum, that coup, he had to leave the country. So 35 years he was outside, and he developed he was also the one who translated or changed over from from British Air Force, Army, etc. to Ceylon Army, British, from the Britishers to Ceylon in 48, 49 era. And also wrote the first National Development Housing Authority. All those things were developed by him, by the way. He developed this concept of condominiums in Hawaii. So first condominium complex actually came up in Hawaii. And then went on to Japan. And he is the one